I hope you had a great weekend. A lot of people probably stayed up, watched some Super Bowl, did some fun things. Maybe watched a halftime show. For you Spanish speakers, you understood a lot of what was sung at the regular halftime show. I think, if I remember correctly, it was pretty much all English at the TPUSA show. So it was interesting. We had a good night last night. Got to hang out a little bit after the game over on WDW Pro's channel. You should probably go watch the replay of that if you can. And a quick shout out and thank you to the lovely Ruby Hoove for gifting a Culture Casino membership. Can't imagine what it was like to be on the other side of that live stream over at TPUSA with 6.1 million concurrent viewers on that channel alone. Estimated over 10 million between all the different places you could have seen it. About 1 million for the most part on Charlie Kirk's channel itself. It is pretty wild. So the Rumble stream was on fire, everything everywhere, all at once, quite literally. So, and if you're from the Seattle area, you're happy because your Sea Chickens won. The lovely Sherry, good morning. Good to see you, dear. Thanks for being here. We've also got somebody from the Great White North. Morning to Morgan King, the warlord of the Great White North. It's a beauty way to go. Who else is out there? Griffin's View, greetings to you. It's good to see you. Thanks for returning once again. It's definitely a Monday. I have not had enough coffee quite yet. But only one cup of coffee these days, or one tumbler anyway. We've reduced it by half, which is rough. Oh, I remember Matt Lauer. Yeah, they should probably flush the Today Show. The Guthrie story is weird. I mean, what's going on? Well, we're in week 2 of this disaster, and it's kind of been parceled out in a very strange way. It's like somebody's trying to send a message, because maybe some things are tied together that, some smart people have pointed out. Kind of weird. Popsicle, good to see you. How you doing? We got the beautiful Deeple out there. Caveat ties, I see. And the lovely Davina Duckworth. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's great to stay up late. Good morning. Good morning to you and you and you and Texas. Hello, Texas. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Swift. It's Matt G, everybody. And Coma going in the house this morning. We got the cat himself. Boone's Cat 3. A return of the cat. Return of the cat. All right. Anyway. Have a good work day. Griffin's View. All right. I agree. Let's go. Hey, I saw Barry. What's up, Barry? Barry the Music Man. All right, friends. Suit up. 6 minutes starts now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you are and whenever you're watching. Thanks for checking out the 6 Minute Daily. We have a lot to talk about. Not a lot of time to do it in. We're going to talk first with, the ridiculousness that is the Savannah Guthrie mom story. They received another message from the mother's suspected kidnappers. Says she and her siblings will pay for her return. They will pay the ransom. And this has been going on for a while now. Multiple searches have been conducted at the location, including one that was about an hour ago. They are willing to pay to get her back. The question is, why is somebody going to all this trouble, and how do they know what kind of money Savannah has? Well, Savannah's husband has been implicated in some interesting shenanigans. And there's claimed ties, perhaps, to the island boy himself. So it's really a strange thing. But they got the message. They told the kidnappers, and we beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. And that's the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable, and we will pay. So there's this message By the way, this message was edited by other outlets when it was put out in the world to remove any reference to any kind of, religious belief system that Ms. Guthrie may have, which is weird. I have to tell you, really not a huge fan of the folks in media most of the time. But anyway, I thought we'd spend some time on this story this morning. Supposedly the house has now been secured by local police. And again, as I said, about an hour ago, they did another complete search. Wizard of Oz, here we go, will air on broadcast television for the first time in 30 years. That's right. You can see it once again on MeTV in October. So get ready. We've got Bad Bunny in historic halftime Super Bowl show. No, that's not the story we're covering. We're going to talk about breaching the 45-day window and how that would absolutely destroy the theatrical model. And this is why Netflix's commitment to theatrical is misleading, of course. And this is a very well-written column. You can go check it out over at Deadline right now. One battle after another, director Paul Thomas Anderson, PTA, wins the top DGA awards. Yeah, there you go. Of course it did. Of course he won. Lindsey Vonn crashes at the Winter Olympics, taken away by helicopter. Her career is unfortunately ended. Bravely trying to ski with a really bad ouchie, a torn ACL. Super Bowl trailer. If you didn't get a chance to watch this, you should. Check out Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day. This thing has been viewed a lot. And hopefully this is a good movie, one I'm looking forward to this year. Newsom declares Super Bowl Sunday to be Bad Bunny Day in California. Trolls Kid Rock for being banned in the state. Whatever, man. This guy is not a good guy. Anyway, Green Day criticizes ICE agents ahead of the Super Bowl because it's all about politics, apparently. Not good as far as I'm concerned. And we've got lots of interesting things around the world right now. Super Bowl ads are trying to overcome tough times with health, caring, and usual laughs, and not a lot of substance outside of maybe the Clydesdale ad. Let's see. We got armchair detectives flood social media as a search for Savannah Guthrie's missing mom continues. Notice that this is a case getting the most amount of attention right now. Is it because Savannah's famous that her mother's getting this attention? Or are we putting all of this effort into other seniors that go missing? I'm just curious. We've got 1 year later from our friend Robert James Films for $2 saying, is today the day? Well, maybe. We'll see. Thank you for your note. Can't wait to watch. We got Venezuela freeing several opposition members after lengthy political motivated detentions. Well, yeah, they got rid of the dictator. Maybe not a good idea to hold on to, the people that he wanted arrested. Oh, and Meloni condemns anti-Olympics actions in Milan, calling demonstrators enemies of Italy. You know what? I don't think she's going to put up with much more for much longer. What do you guys think? And a good question by Putin 3. What about missing children? Yeah, good question. Okay, this case is bonker sauce. Man drives a car into pedestrians in a grocery store in California, injuring 4. But honestly, I don't think this was anything that would have been foul play. The 49-year-old man drove into the front of the Safeway in Kentucky, and fortunately, the injuries were non-life-threatening. The police, they may have intentionally struck the pedestrians, which is different than reporting from the television news side. So that's weird. Moving on, we got Washington Post publisher Will Lewis saying he's stepping down, getting out of there. Good. Bye. Prime Minister Taikichi's party wins a supermajority in Japan, and Italian police are firing tear gas at protesters clash near the Olympics venue. This is Paris all over again. And finally, the bear story is Florida's first bear hunt in a decade. We get the numbers. The fact sheet says, all but 6 of the 172 permits purchased were by Florida residents. So only 6 people participated from other locations, and 52 bears were killed over the period of 23 days. And that's pretty impressive. 6 of those were female, so you can take away from that what you will. Um, the 20, it's going to be very interesting what the population looks like that had been rising in Florida for a while, and what that's going to mean for the future of Florida. I tell you what, there's a lot of interesting predators in Florida that you really wish didn't end up there. A lot of pythons that don't belong, invasive species, they call it. The bears were starting to get into everybody's action in Florida, so there's that. Um, and much like most hunting, in Florida or in other states, there's a draw, a lottery style draw you have to enter, and it costs $5 per entry. Um, and that's it. We'll have to see if they decide to do it again or if they get the bear population down to something that feels more controllable. Regardless, not the happiest of bear stories this morning, but the actual results of what happened. So make it bunny season. Well, I don't know. Were any of the bears coked out? It's a good question. Cocaine Bear. I loved that movie. I know a lot of people didn't. I just enjoyed it for the goofy, silly fun that it was. So it is what it is. Wabbit thieving, duck thieving, wabbin thieving, duck thieving. Yeah, super fun. You guys are having fun. Wabbit thieving, says R.J. McGreedy. Okay. So let's get back to, during the course of bonus time, the idea that the Savannah Guthrie is getting a lot of interesting extra help, um, and maybe more attention than anybody else with an 84-year-old mother missing. Putin's cat mentioned kids. Yeah, not a lot of focus on kids stuff either, which is crazy. Let's take a look at this story in bonus time for what's just happened in the last 35 minutes. So let's look at some live updates. Wow, that did not work out well. Let's see if we can get back here. Well, bam, there we go. Whoops, too big, too big, too big, too big, too big, too big. There we go. From NBC News, live update. Search for Savannah Guthrie's mother enters second week. The video shared Saturday night. The Today Show co-anchor addressed her mother's kidnapper and begged for Nancy's return, even invoking a little bit of a religiousness in there. It's been more than a week, and Nancy Guthrie's 84. So she was supposedly dropped off at her home outside Tucson, Arizona, the night of the 31st, and was reported missing about noon on February 1st. So that's like overnight. The FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Department said Friday that the agencies are aware of a new message regarding Guthrie. It's not clear what kind of message it is. See, this is the other problem. Law enforcement and the people involved in this are not communicating well with each other, which is a major problem. This particular sheriff they're talking about in Pima County, I think only won by like 184 votes because sheriffs are elected office in Arizona. So there's that. We've got Texas 84 gifting 5 Culture Casino memberships. Thank you for that. There's a new video Saturday night from Savannah and her, which I talked about already. So, former FBI hostage negotiators has opened communications. I cannot speak this morning. Former FBI hostage negotiator says open communication is key in negotiations. And again, this is Chip Massey, a retired hostage negotiator and CEO of Convincing Company, said it's a good thing that Savannah Guthrie's family continues to address their mother's possible kidnappers. In hostage negotiation, the key is to keep line of communications open. The query is, do they have proof of life at this point for Nancy Guthrie? Why would you pay for something if you're not getting that person back alive? It's a good question. Suspicious for sure, says Avarice Carmageddon. Yeah, I would say there's a lot of weird built in here. And if you know the history of what happened south of the border, kidnapping by cartels, is a kind of a normal thing. But then you start to look into some of the history of one or two of the family members and everything else. It's not looking so good, and I don't believe that the police are fully informed um, of what actually was happening behind the scenes, or they're certainly not being communicated with in real time by the family. Um, So, this is a problem. So they're trying to figure out what it was. Again, they just did another search at the address, and which is again why I said, "What is this? What is this?" Here's a image of the search right here. What is this? Is this really a kidnapping? Is it something more? Is it different? They might be looking for footprints there, but they just continue to keep looking this property over, trying to figure out what actually occurred. According to earlier reports, there was blood pools both in the front and in the back of the property. Although they kept saying that she must have been moved out of the back, so on and so forth. And you can certainly take a look at this live coverage over on NBC News if you so choose. But I have been highly suspect of everything that was going on here since it began. Um, You know, it's just very strange. There's a lot of not adding up. This is shades of a lot of disappearances. Let's just put it that way in a lot of ways. Also, why would there be massive blood pools front and back? It's a good question. Um, and the thing is the stories are quite different in the way that they're being presented. Um, the story from this morning from CNN is worded differently than what we just read from NBC. I don't know why it keeps doing that, taking the share down. Let's get it done. Um, this is CNN's story. Nancy Guthrie's family says her return is the only way we will have peace. Well, there you go. Is that a car hood? What is that? Dear Guthrie family, your neighbors stand with you. Well, there you go. That's nice. Family plea, obviously. They posted the video plea, a third one for their missing mother's return with Today host Savannah Guthrie. Obviously, she got pulled from the Olympic coverage that she was supposed to be participating in. And they said during that message, we beg of you to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. We will pay. And purportedly, the deadline is nearing. This is the second or the last deadline, as far as I know. They are demanding $6 million by 5 p.m. That's it. Got to figure out where that goes. The note included a threat uh, to Guthrie's life if the deadline isn't met. Well, yeah. And supposedly there have been no suspects named as the search for the 84-year-old woman enters the second week. Law enforcement officials were at her home on Sunday, and they were also seen at the home of her daughter late Saturday. That makes sense. It's almost always a family member. 9 days in, they don't have anything. Never a good sign. I think the family is involved. I think so too, Dreamer. I do. That's oftentimes the case, right? Jean Benet Ramsey, remember that? Ever feel like you got satisfying? Yeah, exactly, Putin. Exactly. She was supposedly dropped off and then went missing between the time she was dropped off in the afternoon and the next day at noon. That's kind of a broad range, right? Right. Thanks again, Texas, for the 5 Culture Casino gifties. CC, that's a good question, Walter Tomaszewski. CC, whoops. Will investors pull out of Washington State or California? I think they'll pull out of both. I think this idea of a wealth tax, unrealized gains tax, first of all, I can't even imagine how that law would be enforceable. Um, you've not that's not actually your money that you're taxing. It really it's just pushing every kind of wealth out of California. It's inviting a disaster, and I mean the king of disasters always the Joker. Just slap some white makeup on Gavin Newsom's face, and you literally have the Joker. He looks like him. He smiles like him. He thinks like him. He talks like him. Larry, the name's so nice, you say it twice. Larry says, I stayed too long and became the villain. No, you didn't. You're always welcome here, friend. Tobach and Caveat Ties are talking over there on the green machine. Good to see you guys. I live in a van down by the river. No, you don't. It's good to see you, bro. Trying to listen to culture over hushkish being vocal. Oh boy, I mean, let me tell you, they can put up quite a ruckus. A ruckus. I pray those despicable people are caught and help accountable. Me too. I hope they're. I do too. Hey, we got a history lesson in the chat today. Good to see you. This is why I miss Griffin's views. Griffin's view. History for you. February 9, 1891. The first known shipment of asparagus arrived in San Francisco from Sacramento. Oh, interesting. Well, let me tell you, the vegetable growth in certain parts of California is extraordinary. They have a vegetable company that borders Arizona and California, and they share a packing plant in Yuma. The company is called Foxy Vegetables, and that's one of the places that you get things like asparagus and other monsoon crops, which we should maybe not grow in the desert. I don't know. Everybody say hi to Loki. Loki had a great show this morning. Loki is fired up, and he's looking for guests. If you're somebody that participates in this sphere, like if you happen to be a YouTube personality or somebody like me, which is in a lack of personality, he's back to doing his regular interview show on Wednesdays. So someday, hopefully, he'll invite me to hang out. But you should check him out right before this show. In fact, I know when his show ends, I've got about 45 minutes until I have to get to work for you. So there's that. CC, are you going to open any more packages this Friday? I am. I'm going to keep opening. I've got, I think, 4 or 5 more boxes. Plus, somebody told me they sent other things in the last few days. So get it back to the P.O. box. Again, another reason why I picked the location I did and the size of the station and the zip code is that basically they can take any size package. So if somebody sent me a car, believe it or not, they would be able to keep it there. It's pretty impressive. So, but yeah, and don't send me a car. Don't send me a car. You wild people. Hey, George Beach. Yeah, I think this will definitely expose some bigger fish because there are some here. That's what I truly believe is that Savannah Guthrie, if it's not just her and her ties to the mass media or any other crazy thing like Putin's cat mentioned in the chat about Matt Lauer and stuff. If it's not that, it's related to that because Savannah Guthrie's husband is tied up in some stuff that maybe has some nefarious beginning and maybe beginning and maybe end, um, which is unfortunate. So Nancy Guthrie, there's active prayer vigils for this woman, this 84-year-old grandmother. Um, it's insane. There are churches throughout the greater Tucson area and things like that that are just full of love and prayers for her. And $6 million by 5 p.m. That's very specific amount of money. That tells you what? If you're going to divide it up equally, everybody gets $1 million. So 6 kidnappers, 6 conspirators. I don't know. That'd be an assumption for sure. Putin's cat. Yeah, unrealized gains is Warren up on that again. Oh, the state of California is right there. So you got that. You've got Washington doing a similar thing. You have corporations, entire corporations, born and bred in California. Chevron, lots of things, and they push so hard into this green energy garbage that they were literally shoving the oil companies out the door. And you got gas stations closing. Things are not going well for California. They did a lot of weird stuff. You can't tax cash. It's a true story. And apparently, if you have unrealized gains, where are you getting the money from to pay those taxes? Are you going to have to use leverage? So now you have to borrow against the gains. I mean that's how Elon Musk actually acquired X, or Twitter at the time. Was he leveraged and got loans against the value of his stock to acquire um, X. So I mean, I guess you could do that, but you're gonna borrow to pay taxes? Insanity. Insanity. Yeah, Jan, you're correct. This is getting all of the coverage and traction because it has all of the elements that you need for a scandal. Family secrets, large quantities of cash, celebrity, not to mention a news personality. Well, I mean, I wouldn't call Savannah Guthrie a news person, but she would. By the way, I believe every family has secrets. I agree with you. It's just some of them are, world changing, and some of them are, like, Uncle Bob is gay. So, and honestly, the family doesn't care. But there might be one person that would be scandalized if that was revealed. I don't know. Crazy. But part of being a family is the ability to keep secrets. It's what it's like to be part of a group, believe it or not, is the ability to do that. So let's see who else is out there. Hey, Corporeal Being. What's up, my friend? Good to see you. Let's see. Pepper, Peter, Piper, Pickled. I love that name. It's fun. You guys have good names. Do you think the internet will solve this case of Guthrie? I don't know. I think it's interesting because sometimes when you engage the internet beyond the wild speculation that always comes with it, um, you actually get some people who look at it very thoughtfully and have life experiences that are different from the people that are working the case. See, that's the other thing too. Um, Everybody has a different level of experience. And there are going to be people that have been in law enforcement their entire lives who've had experiences you don't. People who have been trained FBI hostage negotiators, like we were talking about just a little bit ago. It's it's something that could happen, can happen. I tell you what, if you set a masked face out into the world, trying to catch people who are misbehaving badly. The internet has a magic way of, making that face visible and the person identifiable. So it's possible. It's possible. Corgis are awesome. They're awful loud too. Mine are lucky. They are so cute. Well, EVD Corgi, I got to tell you, they are really cute dogs. A little bouncy, So are Jacks. It's crazy stuff. Anyway. Da-ba-ba. Oh, wow. Putin reminds me on February 10th, which is mañana, 1891, the streets of San Francisco started smelling. Well, probably. Didn't the streets of San Francisco catch on fire? Broccoli invented Bond movies. Yeah. Albert Broccoli. He passed the franchise down to his daughter and stayed in the family business with the Wilson family. So Broccoli's and Wilson's paired together in ownership. And a little bit of a rights dispute that happened at one point in time. That's why you have Never Say Never Again, and a few other films that should have been made. So there's that. Juliet stepping out. Have a good one. Who else is out there in the world? We got amazing people. Barry is a cult of personality. Hey, John the Beagle Dad's in the house. Talk about a dog dad right there. Hi, John. Good to see you. Happy Monday, indeed. Yesterday, I spent the day deep cleaning the master bedroom while listening to the Culture Casino theme song on a loop. I know, it's super fun. Thank you to Pro for making that a real thing. I can't wait to see the animations. We might find those out soon. Looking forward to that. The Bad Cap. I cuss. You cuss. We all cuss for asparagus. Thank you, the Bad Cap. I hope you're having a good day. Oh, just trying to catch up with you. I'm 8 minutes behind on the chat, guys. So if you didn't get an answer or a conversation, I'm sorry. Awesome One says the money is to pay for Bad Bunny's extras. Oh boy. That's wild. William says, didn't waste my time watching the Super Bowl. Oh, good for you, William. William Schweikert out there. Instead, I did some deep cleaning. Well, I'm glad. Thank you, William. I really do hope you enjoyed yourself this weekend. All of you. Tender Warrior is here. Greetings and happy Magna Ominous Monday. Magnanimous. What's wrong with my brain today? Monday, everyone. It's good to see you. Thank you, Tender Warrior. It's good to see you. Yeah, and Elon. There you go. Yeah, all of a sudden we can find everybody on the planet. You guys are having a good time today. I can tell. Barry the Music Man for $2 says, didn't know who Gabby Barrett was. She won me over. Her voice is golden. She started off last night. And I was like, is that a recording? Is she just lip syncing? Nope, she's singing. It's crazy. Crazy stuff. Oh, you had Jax, John. John had Jax. Yeah, Jack Russells are bouncy, man. They're like springs. What's the joke? That the Jack Russell's permanently on a trampoline? Yeah, it's just crazy. Hey, Magnify. Good to see you, Tom. Lurking and working. I am too. Ms. Pitt Coffee, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. For Juliet out there, thank you, dear. And, of course, for Jill, thank you, dear. Matt G, great to see you, my friend. Tom, thanks for popping in. Uh, you guys are some of the best wrenches I don't have to pay, which is amazing. Ram Bam 3000. Hey, guys. Hello. Houston, hello. All right. Who else is out there? We got more people. Cat slaves out there. Saw that. Oh, Tender Warrior gets super duper generous, gifting 10 Culture Casino memberships. Thank you, friend. And that means Larry. The name's so nice you say it twice. Larry gets a membership along with 9 other people going green. Tender Warrior, you're very generous, and thank you so much for your support throughout the years now. You guys have been around for a long time. I've been at this. Let's see, the clock ticked over in January towards the middle end of January, so we're 6 years in, guys, in case you were wondering. This adventure started way back when, and you guys are making it bigger every day. Did you guys notice we grew in numbers as a subscriber base and as a membership base in the last week and a half, 2 weeks? It's amazing what you guys can do. Incredible. Wonderful. Breathtaking, even. Actually, Johnny Cash did this song right before he died. Oh, I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real. The needle bears a hole, that old familiar stain. I tried to kill it all away, but I remember everything. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end. And you could have it all. My empire of dirt. I will let you down. I will make you hurt. Still gives me chills to this day. And I agree. In the chat, commentary is the cover is better than the original Nine Inch Nails song. I agree wholeheartedly. American 4, I think, is where that particular cover you can still be found, obviously, if you have the album. And even Trent Reznor says that song immediately became Johnny Cash's. So there's that. Oh, awesome one. I forgot. You're a ranch? Oh, wait, you're not a ranch. Okay. You had me fooled for a second. But thank you for being here, awesome one. You've been around since the very beginning. Anyway, sorry to sing at you guys. Some of you probably didn't appreciate that very much. Rarely do covers better than originals, but it happens. True story. Tim Murphy says, heck no. All right, fair enough. All right, so here's the rest of the day, folks. We've got in 30 minutes that Park Place live, and they're going to talk to you about some of the stuff that happened over the weekend as well. Just to wrap up for a few moments, we'll talk about whether or not I watched the Super Bowl. I did not. I kept up with the score, of course, and where the clock was, because that was going to manage when I got to watch the TP USA show, which I did. I saw clips of the Bad Bunny stuff and just thought, about half 50-50 of the clips that are being put out there by media sources were rage baity, just to get clicks, based on the primary image, the thumbnail. I just think it's foolish to first of all not realize that American football is never going to become an international sport. It'll only become international in as much as there will be teams willing to go and play in other locations. I think it's disingenuous to think that teams could survive any other place than maybe somewhere in Mexico in the North American continent, or perhaps Canada. But I don't think the minute you create an ocean flight, you've already got a team that will have a massive disadvantage if they have to fly from Europe to America or from America to Europe, because it's going to screw up your circadian rhythm. It's going to take you the better part of 2 or 3 days to bounce back. You will have very oddly timed buy windows. There's all kinds of problems that they got to get past. Um, and and frankly, I mean, can you guys picture the Jaguars in London or the Jacksonville Jaguars, a Florida team in Mexico? Maybe, but that's still going to be a flight for a lot of teams. And again, if you're going East Coast to West Coast, you gain those hours, but at the same time, you're out of your rhythm. It there's something to physiology, whether we want to believe so or not. Your body's set up to have periods of rest and digest food. So there's that. I wrenched my knee. Does that count, Gaslight? Oh, you guys, what is Tobak? Is Tobak misbehaving? Thanks for that culture. What am I supposed to do with? Oh, sorry, Tobak. That is TMI. You guys are amazing. First Dragon Queen. Go check out her channel. She is just a lovely person. She truly is. Plus, she's got helpers, assistants, amazingness. Saying I ignored the Super Bowl and worked on AI and drawing. Well, my name is Simon, and I like to do drawings. I can't draw anything. Cannot. I did get a painting lesson from Dreaming Tabitha. She's amazing. Tabitha she should have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. She's full of wit and banter and intellect and talent on loan from God, especially when it comes to art. She's very gifted. So that's all I'll say. Penny, penny, penny. Awesome one says it was a pro Puerto Rico show and very not family. Well, there's a little grindy stuff out there if you watch the clips. Europe has football too. Yeah, they do. Soccer. Barry's like, I don't know anybody who watched Bunny, but I did. But I did get. Hang on. But I did get one friend delete on Facebook when I posted the All American halftime link. Well, sometimes look, like what you like, love what you love. I never find it productive to delete people unless they're just outrageously a bad part of my life, right? Loki was talking about this earlier this morning in blunt terms. Loki using colorful language today, but hey, look, you woke me up, so good on you. But sometimes you just have to say it's not worth it when it comes to situations like that. I shared the All American halftime link a couple of times. People were asking me because of the couple of videos I did. One of them's over 80,000 views now. Thanks to all of you guys. Your promotion and commentary. I know you may not understand it, but the way that the engagement algorithm works on YouTube is if you comment and I comment back, that builds momentum for whatever video it is. So that's just how the algorithm works on YouTube. So your comments, the thumbs up button, your subscription to the channel, making sure you're still subscribed, and the other piece of magic that most people don't lean into, and they should, is that if you watch successive videos that I've done in a row, even one that you've seen before but liked or whatever, if you watch one video on the channel and follow that up with another video on the channel, immediately the algorithmic boost is like set into effect. So just keep it in mind. I know I've been saying that a lot more frequently on videos, but it's the truth. It's how the algorithm is stacked. It's also how it builds up kind of your feeds, your most watched tubers. That those are going to be the things you see on your for you screen. And with people like me who produce one, two, three, four pieces of content a day, um, your feed will start to fill up. So if you want somebody to be successful, if you really appreciate what they do or how hard they work on what they do, and there's a lot of people out there work their butts off on their content, not getting, the kind of love they should, like Loki and others, um, then that's how you help fix it. I know that's weird, but it's also how I make sure that like when I turn on my Roku, it's not full of ridiculous AI garbage. Like, I think that the algorithm recognizes I don't like fake voices, fake narrations done, off of an AI script. So I'm not a fan. So, anyway. Teams would hate seeing them on their schedule. Exactly. And that's the other problem again with moving teams internationally. Um, Football is not a travel game. It's not a travel sport. I mean, there's a reason why there's global tournaments held for soccer or European football, whatever you want to call it. But there's a reason why you get World Cup events because there's a lot of logistics and planning and spacing of games and everything else that comes into play when you're trying to do those global events. And they're really trying to turn American football into a global game. And that's like trying to turn baseball into a global game. It worked for a little while, you know, and then you get, a lot of politics in the way and people trying to divide rather than unite. So you don't it's hard to find a global game. Basketball was well on its way too. The dream team didn't really hurt that until we got to LeBron's era. But I mean, let's just be honest about it, you know. Um there's certain appeals in certain parts of the country and that's it. We shouldn't pretend otherwise. Um yeah, and that's the thing. You can tell when there's an AI voice that's in a video and an AI narration, and it doesn't speak fluently or make the normal interruptive gestures that somebody like me or somebody else is going to make. It's incapable of tracking a thought beginning to end and having a little interruption in between on a tangent. Just doesn't do it well. So Awesome One says, I've recorded some Olympics. We watched ice skating. Uh, awesome. And my brother, who doesn't like sports, said he would be an ice skater if he could. Hey, I got to tell you, some of the figure skating stuff's amazing. Oh no, and again, it's some of the stuff that you do, Putin, is pretty amazing. I've been very impressed with the things you put together, and what Pro's able to do is also like incredible. So, yeah, I mean, there's a future for it, and there's now photorealistic AI. I forget what it's called that makes Sora look slow. So we'll see. Um, for now, though, using stuff like that to make videos and while very shortcut oriented is just not the way forward. I would rather sit down, record, and edit a video. So there's that. Barry says Japanese loved baseball. They did. They're very good at it. Otani's like one of my favorite players right now. So Japanese baseball cheerleaders. Yeah, if only I had the clip. So there you go. I use culture for all my voiceovers. Well, thank you, Putin. A lot of people have put my voice in AI. One of the first things I worked with Grant on was an AI voiceover in one of those things that now is like way advanced. AI voices pronounce words and sentences weird. Yeah, weird, weird indeed. All right. Wait, I follow this one guy who narrates his own videos, but he has such a flat delivery. He sounds like AI. Yeah, I've been told. I've been told I have a dulcet tones. A lot of people say they can go to sleep to my voice. You haven't seen mine yet, huh? Hey, Tom, everything you're doing, I'm loving. I'm not going to share what you've shared with me, but uh, you're gifted. Oh, Putin, I get it. I mean, there's a lot of people that are spending time and effort in AI. Like you said, it's like any tool. It can be used for good or bad purposes. And right now, I think it's detrimental because while they're still developing models, and we're actually starting to witness model crashes. You guys probably don't know what that is, but these LLM, they're large language models. We're watching them eat each other because they're continuing to iterate on themselves, and it's not like a physical thing, right? It's like that line from Multiplicity when when you make a copy of a copy and the next copy isn't quite as good. That's kind of what's been happening to AI, and that's when you get a model implosion or collapse. Again, this is all technical babble to a lot of people, but it's um, it's one of the reasons why some models just spit out gibberish, or why it doesn't feel persistent because it's always kind of refreshing in the background, or else again you experience a disaster. But the cache, the problem is it's terribly expensive. So yeah, Kling is the next one. Yeah, yeah. Um, and again, we just keep seeing changes. So like unlike what Elon's going to do with Optimus, he's going to build 10 million robots, let's say, and a certain number of those robots are going to just their job's going to be building other robots because as long as they don't intend to improve anything and they just keep that particular model going, the iterations that they're making are always consistent. So it's not like making a copy of a copy and anything like that. It's just, it's easier to produce because that's basically what they would be doing, produce robots, just like Elon produces cars with robots. So it's the same thing. So that's how we're going to get the massive population of robots, especially the ones that are going to Mars. And I argue that if he weren't doing that, everything Elon does builds on it builds on top of itself, which includes putting AI data centers or any data centers in space. That also includes why there's now a network of satellites around the globe that can pass traffic like he can do. I mean, what it's capable to do with Starlink was we never imagined it. The broadcast transmission and the receipt of data the way it is. So now you're going to put that up in a satellite that's solar powered, which obviously solar efficiency is going to be much higher because there's no atmosphere to get in the way. So essentially, you're going to have flying in space data centers, obviously easier to keep cool. Yeah, it's pretty wild. So Putin 3 says, I assume they snapshot the models. Yeah. Uh, Randall says, "Hey, have you seen the video of the two Scots stuck in a voice-activated elevator?" No. Oh goodness, that sounds great. I'd love to see that. Wait, RK Outpost is doing advertising on Venice AI. I did not know that. I have to get with Ryan on that. First Dragon Queen says she's trying to get at me. Says Sesame Seed Man has been fine tooled. I should post it. I can't wait to see it. And thank you for the $5 contribution, dear. You didn't have to do that. I can't believe you're so creative. You're amazing. When you Xerox a Xerox, exactly. Yeah, multiplicity was ahead of its time. Look, and that's the other thing that's missing, but from film and television now. I know I'm a broken record when it comes to this, but dialogue hasn't been the same for a long time. Writers don't understand how to write conversations or dialogue between characters. And I think the one of the greatest minds at this, and you don't have to agree with me, um, is Aaron Sorkin. Aaron Sorkin is quite possibly the most talented dialogue writer in history. Not only that, he does a little bit of research to make sure what he's having the characters say back and forth to each other is actually accurate, which I don't think a lot of writers do anymore. Especially if they're writing in sci-fi or fantasy, they don't bother to look it up to find out, what was the common parlance of the given area, what was the chosen vernacular, you know, and yet, the stuff that Aaron Sorkin writes is clever. The characters their witty banter back and forth is always top notch. You can go back through everything he put together, whether it's film or television, and it's always engaging conversation. And everything that he does is about kinetics. When it comes to making television or film, his vision for every scene or action is physical motion. So very rarely, and it's noticeable when people are stationary in anything that he does. So a lot of people a lot of people stole those kinds of cues and moved forward with them, which is one of the reasons why I think J.J. Abrams went the way he did. But there were, like I said, there were very many people that wanted to copy him, but don't have the capabilities. So you can disagree with me if you want to, but I as somebody who studies it, it's uh, it's interesting. So, did I see the file I sent you about the bread with Roundup found in? No, I did not. I'll look in the back channel. Thank you, Tom. I may do a video about that. That is grody. Grody. Yeah, today the 6 Minute Daily is a long one, but it leads right into the next show or within the next 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes from now. You got That Park Place live with my friends over there. Normally I would lead into M4 Empire, but it doesn't look like they have anything until tonight. So, copy casino. Yeah. Like I said, I know that there are a couple of people that have trained their AI on my voice, and I'm okay with that. It's fine. Yeah, and for those of you on the YouTube side of things, you have an automatic redirect to That Park Place. For those of you on the Green Machine, well, they still aren't over there yet. It should be, but hey. Was watching prayer streams before this. Yeah, I was watching Loki. So, but I tell you what, sometimes you just need the spiritual connection for sure, especially in the morning. All right, guys, we are going to bail out of here a little early. I need to refresh my water and get ready for a very long day. I'm going to try to make more content. We dropped a video just a few moments ago, or this morning about 5:30 Pacific time. 5:30 this morning Pacific time. So, which is what 7:30 a.m. Eastern. Yeah. So yeah, so do check that out. And let me know. Let me know what you think. It's about James Gunn basically being done because nobody's going to want to keep him after the sale of Warner Brothers Discovery, and he's not going to have time to get more than one or two projects done between now and then. And I think Pacemaker's already run the gambit on what people are going to accept from that. Nobody wants any more Creature Commandos. Drunk Supergirl is going to be a disaster. And I'm not even sure that anybody wants the next Superman movie based on the box office of the first one. And who knows about Batman? Nobody. Crazy. All right. So on that note, folks, thank you for hanging out today. We will we'll give you a little commercial time, and then we're out. Oh, and by the way, in honor of Sherry's return to the channel, the lovely Sherry, we have to say so long and thanks for all the clams.
Are you tired of the same old buffet food at Wang's? Have you had enough dong to last you a lifetime? Well, take just a few more steps past those single-minded restaurants and dive into Sherry's Slam & Clam. Sherry's Slam & Clam Shellfish Bar is truly all you can eat, unlike the 2 shrimp limit that stingy bastard Wang has. In a hurry, let Sherry stuff your box. To go! Be shellfish and take all you want from Sherry's Slam & Clam. Located next to the 3rd Street Bolorama, Sherry's is open 6 days a week. If you are looking to slam clam, get to Sherry's today. Are you tired of the same...
Oh, the culture had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm we had a cock, E-I-E-I-O. With a cock here and a cock there. Here a cock, there a cock, everywhere a cock.